Welcome back, tubers. If you like this type of content, please consider a like, a subscribe, and also leave a comment. Thank you. All right, welcome back, tubers. Another great day in paradise. Kind of overcast a little bit today, but in a couple of days that's going to clear up, and then we're going to get back into the high mid-60s to 70s. So anyway, this is my channel, Reverend Jeffrey. We are remodeling a house that I paid for $1, and it needs everything, of course, as we know. As you've been following along, you have seen me remodel much of what this house has needed. I had to restructure the floor in the bathroom and bedroom, and I completely installed all of the bathroom and the kitchen and everything like that. Well, today is going to be epic because I got to show you what I've been doing. I've been setting up the water system so that I can charge all of my packs. Let me show you what I've done to begin with. That will take a trip outside. Hang on. What I have done is that I have set up a garbage can underneath my little waterfall here, and then I got a submersible water pump in there, and then I've got it plugged into an outlet in the house, or at least I had. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, and then I run a hose. I run that hose all the way in here, and then I had my water tank pulled out to here, and then because the hose, I got 50 feet of hose and I got 15 feet of hose, and it came about 5 foot short. I thought I had a 25-foot hose. I didn't. But anyway, so I filled up the water tank. I got about, a good 12, maybe 15 gallons into the thing. Just enough. And then I've got this old water, this came out of an old RV that I was given at one time. So I snatched all of the water hoses and the water pump. That's where I got it. That's all free of charge. And today we're going to turn on this water pump right here, and we're going to charge the PEX water system. Now, as you can see here, I don't know if you can really tell or not, but they're empty. They're still dry. I have not done any water in them whatsoever. Okay, so if you can see the green light reflecting off of here, that means that my inverter is on. Let me check this up here. 12.3 volts. It's down a little bit. It's charging, but again, my solar panels, I've got a 100-watt system, but I only got half of it, so I got 50 watts in the window. And the other problems that I got lots of trees in the backyard. Let me see if I can slide this over. Nope. Anyway, I got trees in the backyard, and it's shading my solar panel, and it's cloudy out today. So we're not getting a whole lot. My system doesn't tell me how many watts I'm pulling in right now, even though I've got a Victron Smart Shunt on here. I don't have the whole VE system to where it tells how much power in, power out. But anyway, we are charged. As you can see, I got lights up on the ceiling. There's lights in the house. This switch here will work. We are going to charge the water system in the house here. Now, some of the things that I had to do, let me go over here. I had a couple of these plugs. So what I got to do is, until this water faucet comes in, I had to cap off the water supply going to the tub. And I've got the faucet for the toilet, It is ready to go. The faucets for the, might help if I turn some lights on. For the sink is ready to go. I got the water faucet here in the kitchen. It's ready to go. So, and then of course the kitchen sink needs to be scrubbed a little bit. We're going to do that as a test. So why don't we get to it? See if this will work. Makes enough noise. Hopefully I get a little bit of water out of here. It'll flow into my filters. Oh, might help if I turn the master water shutoff valve open. Oh, that thing is noisy. Well, I thought it would work. Well, we know that the motor works. This is a whole brand new head that I got on here because the other one was broken. And I got no water flow. Okay, well, I'll have to troubleshoot that in a little bit, maybe come back to you guys and let you know. Meanwhile, all of my electronics works, which is fascinating. Turn that lights off. We'll get to that in a minute. Something else I wanted to share with you guys. Let me come back into the living room here. We got a nice little fire going. Oh yeah. We are warming up. I got too much light behind me. That's the problem. Okay, let me scoot over here a little bit. All right. I got in the mail today the results of my labs that I've done recently. I am diabetic, as some of you may already know. And I don't know if you can read this. Where are we at? There's the camera. Anyway, might have to zoom in there. My A1C, 7.5. Anyway, a normal range for A1C is 4.4 to 6.4. I'm almost there. I am 1.1 to 1.2 points to go to be, well, relatively normal again. My last check was in January, and it was at 8.3. My doctor was concerned because it went back up, because of the COVID thing. I sat around a lot. I'm just munching, doing like everybody else does, getting comfortable, not going out to eat as much. So I relied on comfort food, stuff that's easy to fix, canned items, ravioli, whatever, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or whatever. I like cereal, dry cereal. And then recently, about a month or so ago, I've got a continuous glucose monitor. And, well, let me drag it out here. I really like that because what it allows for me to do is check 113. It allows me to check my glucose levels at any time that I want. I can do it, 20 times a day, 100 times a day, whatever. I can do it every 15 minutes if I want or whatever. So this thing just works. I love it. It keeps me within range, and it allows me to figure out what foods that I eat that spikes my sugar. Now, what I've been trying to do lately is do a lot of substitutions. Bread is almost a no-no. Coincidentally, I happened to, last time I was at Walmart, I found a loaf of keto bread. I was over by the sourdough bread looking around, and sure enough, there was on the side of the package, says keto bread. I said, oh my God. I looked at it. There's still a few net carbs per slice, but it's mostly fiber. Which, if you understand keto diet, you take your total carbs and you subtract the fiber out of it, and that'll give you net carbs. And so when you're diabetic, you got to try to reduce as many net carbs as you possibly can. That means you got to cut out all your pastas and your bread and your potatoes and your rice. But what you do is a whole new language. You got to substitute. You get a lot of almond bread, you get a lot of coconut, not almond, almond flour, and then coconut flour, and all kinds of flours. You're substituting. And then for sweeteners, you're using Swerve or using stevia. It's a lot of substitution. I took my A1C readings from 8.3 down to 8.4 down to 7.5. Dropped it 0.9 points in 1 month. 1 stinking month, I dropped my A1C down a whole point. And this is the proof. Well, you don't see my other one that was 8.4, but take my word for it, that's where it was. In history, you go back a year or two or whatever, a couple of years, I was up into the 9s, which is critical for diabetics. And every once in a while, you'll hear about a story of somebody who's well into the, 10, 11, 12, even as high as 14 when it comes to the A1C readings. That's when things start falling off. Your toes fall off, your fingers fall off. That's when the doctors start chopping your body up, because gangrene, your extremities start dying, oh my God, really bad things happen. So it's a really good idea to keep a close eye on your A1C. Now the A1C is a 3-month measure, because typically blood cells last only about 3 months in your body, then they're replaced, right? They're always continuously being replaced, but the HbA1c reading that they take is an overall average of your long-term blood glucose levels. It kind of averages out all the spikes and everything. So that is the major metric that they use to monitor how well you're doing. So, and I've got an appointment with my doctor next week. She is extremely excited that I figured out the code. Now, any of you diabetics in the audience, you want to know how I've done it, get a hold of me. And it didn't require a super change of diet. Yeah, it requires a learning curve, and I'm learning that learning curve. So, specifically bread. I found keto bread. Now, I can make keto bread. You got to go through making bread. Some people don't want to get into all of that. But this time around, I happened to find a loaf of bread, and it seems to be working. Yesterday, day before yesterday, what was it, yesterday? I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch, and my levels didn't spike at all. And jam is what was the natural thing on there that would have spiked it. You put it with a bunch of other things like protein and fiber and stuff like that, it has a tendency to level out your spikes a little bit. So, say like you ate just a cookie, which is predominantly all sugar, right? Or a sweet wine or something like that is predominantly sugar. Your drier wines are less sugars, right? So, but anyway, you get something that's predominantly sugar and it'll spike you to something fierce. Now, I had some breakfast cereal, I had some regular dry cereal a couple of days ago. I got some left over. I got to use it up. Some wheat puffs or something like that. I still got a few more bowls left of it. So every once in a while, once a week, I'll tap into that or something. But that one bowl, nothing else, no bacon, no toast, no nothing, just that one single bowl, it spiked my sugar all the way to 300. Oh my God. 100 being normal, 200 being critical, 300 being off the chart. Oh, I couldn't believe it. So I had to take a couple extra shots of insulin to bring that back down, but once it came down into range and I was past the peak point, the rest of the day went, quite well. So Again, it's a learning curve. All you got to do is learn how to eat well. Um, Typically, what I like to drink, my new choice of drink for the last couple of years now, has been diet tea from Nestea, green tea, diet green tea with lemon. So it's a sweetener. They use, what do they use for a sweetener into that? It's not a good sweetener, but it's all I got right now. So it works. Green tea is good for you. I drink a lot of it because it's predominantly water, so I stay hydrated. It tastes good. I can't just drink straight water. I got to have something to taste in there. And a lot of your things that you add to water are high in sugars. I don't know. This one is diet, is 000 for sugar and carbohydrates, everything else. So I like drinking it. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys today. I am doing quite well. So over the last couple of years, I have solved I had starting to get, when I was up in the 9s for A1C, I was getting neuropathy in my legs. Particular points that were going numb in my leg. You lose sensitivity in your nerves, things like that. And then later you start, you're closing off, capillaries and arteries and things like that. And that's when the bad stuff happens, But anyway, so I reversed all my neuropathy. I had little floaters in my eyes. I could see that the little bit of damage in the eyes was retinopathy. I've gotten rid of all of that. So I am on the mend. Now, your body has a great urge to heal itself. It will like your liver, you start eating properly, you cut out your sugars and carbohydrates, a lot of it, maybe not all of it, but 80-90% of it, right? And it allows your body to respond, right? It allows it to repair itself, gives it time. Now, another thing that I've been doing in the last month is that I like to do intermittent fasting. Normally, you eat within a 6 to 8 hour window, and then you fast for 16 hours. Normally, like every day. So if you're outside of that window, you got to have a little, fortitude to say, no, I've already eaten today. If you're hungry, you take a sip of liquids or something like that, like my tea or water or coffee or something like that. Take that feeling of hunger away. After you do it for a while, then you don't get those hunger pains. So, your body gets used to that. And also what I've been doing is that I'll skip a day for food, right? It's called wet fasting. And so what I'll do is that after like 6 p.m. in the evening, I've had dinner or whatever, I will not eat the whole next day. So by 6 p.m. the next day, it's 24 hours. That's when your body starts healing itself. This is a key trick to intermittent fasting. The time between 24 hours, 36 or even 40 hours, that is the best time your body starts to heal itself. And it's not such a long fast where you can't do without it, So, once a week I just skip a day. So after 6 p.m. in the evening, I go all day long the next day. I plan this out. I say, okay, I can mentally, I prepare myself and say, I'm not going to eat today. It doesn't matter what comes up, no food. So just drink my teas. If I get, thirsty for something else, I'll change over to water or whatever, some other drink that's diet, that has no sugars, no carbohydrates, no nothing into it, right? Whatever. I'm happy with my teas. It works for me. And then you have like breakfast the day after that. So, and then you go back to like bacon and eggs or whatever. There's 0 sugars in bacon and eggs. It's a great keto breakfast. You can do ham slice. You can do scrambled eggs, whatever. I've been practicing with learning how to do different kinds of pancakes. I found keto pancake mix, which it's low. It's low in carbohydrates, but it's not super low, right? So it typically makes 3 to 4 pancakes. My recipe, and each pancake is roughly about 2 carbs, net carbs. So if I have 3 pancakes or 4 pancakes, then I'm 6 or 8 carbs for breakfast, which is not too much, right? My body can react to that. So anyway, again, I wanted to share that with you guys. The house is coming along quite nicely. What I'm going to do later is I'm going to troubleshoot why I'm not getting water up through my water pump. It could be that the baffle in there, or the diaphragm that they call it, may not be functioning correctly, so I may wind up having to tear that motor completely apart. Worst case scenario, I don't know, I may have to go buy another motor or something like that, but we'll see. I'll play with it. I'll see if I get it running, and I'll let you guys know how it works out. But as you can see, I have the water tank. I fill my water tank with water out of my little creek that I've got in front of the house. It's being completely refreshed. 1,000 gallons, several thousand gallons a day. It just runs all day long. Anyway, so it's pretty fresh. It's not like runoff from the highway or anything like that. It runs through the woods and stuff like that, so it's fairly, fairly fresh water. I filter all of it, and then eventually I'm going to get a UV meter so that, I can kill any bacteria or viruses or, bad things that get into the pipe. That's why the city adds bleach, so that it does that for you. So that's their responsibility. And so I will continue to upgrade my system. I don't have it right here, but something else I put together. I got a 3-ring binder for all of the operations and maintenance of my system back there in the utility room, so that that not only me, right, so I know where I get all my filters from and all my other parts and pieces to the equipment, but in case somebody else takes over or whatever, that they understand what's going on and that they know how to operate the system. Living off grid is a little different than anything else. I mean, you've got to be conscious of how the system works and be able to, kind of troubleshoot it on the fly, if you run into a problem or something like that. So the thing that I want to impress on you guys, that I have done the extra legwork and I don't have any utility bills. I can live in this house. As soon as I get the water charge, I'm one step closer to living in here full time. Currently, I'm still staying in town with friends. I've got my bed upstairs. Pretty soon I'm going to have running water. I've got power. The lights will turn on. I need more solar panels. So there's a few things that I'm working on. Plus, I need to have the contractor come back with his excavator and build me a driveway. I'm still kind of working on that. So, the 3 things that I need right now, I need solar panels. I need, of course, my water charged. I'll get to that later today, hopefully. And I need a driveway. And a couple other little things, but for the most part, I'm ready to move in. Now, as you've seen before in some of my other videos, I have completely moved all of my stuff out of storage units, and that's saving me $109 a month. So the process begins. I am saving money, and then again, once I move into here, I'll save another $450 a month, and then I start paying my credit cards down. I am in the middle of this refinance. I've got an appointment later this month for the appraiser to come by, take a look at it. Hopefully they won't scream and holler too much that I've got, bare plywood and a couple of bare walls in there. The reason for that is because I plan to do some more remodeling, with the mortgage money. Now I'll be able to pull out $75,000 cash into my pocket, and I'll be able to finish up a lot of these projects, such as the driveway or landscaping. I want to completely remodel the yard and get some grass growing and stuff like that. You guys will see all of that. That'll be so cool, and man, you'll just see this place come together. Oh yeah, and the outside of the house needs to be painted too. That's a big project. I would do it myself, except that is way too much work for me. I mean, I did the roof by myself, only because I wanted to know exactly how it was done. So I did it myself, only because I know how to do that. I can do paint jobs too, but I'm just going to leave it up to the pros. There's a lot of prep work that goes into that. If it was just painting, then it would be one thing, but prep. 80% of the job for painting is prep work. So I just let them do that, It'll cost me, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to do paint on the outside of the house, but once I got that mortgage money, it's well worth it, It's peace of mind. So anyway, we'll get to that later on in another video. For now, like I said, you watching me, progress through all the different sections of this house. So I'm loving it. Anyway, if you made it this far in the video, please throw me a like and a subscribe, and definitely a comment. I love reading those comments, and I respond to almost every one of them that I can. A lot of them are just comments, but if you got a question or something like that, definitely ask me what's going on, and I will get back to you. And again, if you're in the local area, shoot me a message and then let me know, and then we'll meet up. I'll show you. I'll give you a little nickel tour and stuff. If you're coming through Port Angeles, like a lot of people do, it is the tourist season. A lot of traffic outside on the highway. People coming and going. It is, paradise up here. So a lot of people doing the great Olympic loop. They come up through Bellingham. Not Bellingham. Bremerton. They come up through Gig Harbor, Tacoma and Gig Harbor, and then Bremerton. They come up through the highway past Port Townsend, over here through Squim and Port Angeles. They go over to Forks, and they go down the ocean shore side, and they go down to Aberdeen, and they come back in to Olympia, stuff like that. It's a great big giant loop. Take you all day to do that unless you stop and explore things, visit some of our national parks. That's the whole thing encompasses, like waterfalls and hiking trails and all kinds of things, man. I am going to take you guys on a trip to the railroad tunnels. There's a trail called the Spruce Railroad Trail, and it goes along the other side of Lake Crescent, and there's a fantastic history that goes along with that. And we'll see some tunnels too, by the way. So anyway, stay tuned for that. That'll be in one of my adventure videos coming up shortly. Next time it gets to be nice weather again outside, sunny. So we got a couple of more days of overcast, and then we'll be back into the sun. So we will see you guys then. Enjoy until then. Bye for now.